What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Triple Z. I'm your host, Isaiah Henry. The Pacers roll past the Bucks in Game 1. Clippers versus Nuggets will be a long and intense series. Let's talk about it. The Pacers take care of business at home, defeating the Bucks 117-98, leading the series 1-0. Indiana took advantage of the Bucks defense the entire game, getting out in transition, which led to 22 fast break points for the Pacers. Those fast break points came in different ways, from Andrew Nembhard not waiting for the Bucks to settle in defensively, lowering his shoulder, putting his head down and finishing downhill, Tyrese Halliburton scanning the floor and finding Benedict Mathurin for a corner three, or Pascal Siakam on the wing for a three, just broke the Bucks down defensively. Milwaukee had some late closeouts to contest Indiana's three-point shooters due to late rotations, overhelping when the ball got within the three-point line. Then the Pacers would drive and kick, finding an open shooter who had a lot of space to get the shot off comfortably. Pascal Siakam provided everything in this game: 25 points, 7 rebounds, plus 28 for the game, hitting the three ball, posting up, scoring in transition, working off the ball, then having to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo on the other end. Tyrese Halliburton only shot 23% from the floor but had 12 assists, had a great two-man game with Miles Turner, found Andrew Nembhard running the floor, found three-point shooters in traffic. Anytime Halliburton can get 2 feet inside the paint, good things happen. Him scoring at the rim, pull up in the mid-range, driving kicks. He gets the offense flowing for the Indiana Pacers. And that's what's so impressive about the Pacers offense. They share the ball, move it side to side. The ball doesn't stick to one person. The Pacers had 28 assists to the Bucks 15. Giannis Antetokounmpo only had 1 assist, and that helped the Pacers defensively because they knew without Dame, Giannis would have to be more aggressive scoring the basketball. So Indiana was able to stay home with everyone else, and it paid off. Taurean Prince, 0 points. Bobby Portis, 4 points. Kyle Kuzma in 21 minutes had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0 field goals made, 0 free throws made, 0 three-pointers made. A complete donut. He was the new Tony Snell. But Kyle Kuzma, in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, I was saying to myself, I'm like, damn, Kyle Kuzma hasn't touched the rock at all, hasn't looked for his shot, hasn't done anything to provide a necessary spark and not leave it only up to Giannis Antetokounmpo to carry this entire workload for the Bucks. And Doc Rivers said it after the post game, it's hard to, score when you don't touch the ball, and it felt like Kyle Kuzma didn't touch the ball at all, really. It felt like Giannis was doing everything he could, and that's what you're going to need, because without Dame, Giannis has to do everything for this team. He really has to. Now, I'm not saying that, there's bums on the Milwaukee Bucks, right? You got Bobby Portis, you got Brook Lopez, Kevin Porter Jr. has done decently well. But the playoffs are a little bit different, and the Pacers recognizing that Giannis is going to go extremely hard, and we saw that in the first 5-6 minutes of the first quarter, where he's just getting downhill and playing through everyone and just getting to the free throw line. You knew it was going to be that kind of game style for the Milwaukee Bucks. But for Kyle Kuzma, who the Bucks traded for, Chris Middleton would have had a better performance than Kyle Kuzma. I promise you that. But for Kyle Kuzma to put up a donut and not impact the game in any way, knowing it's game 1, knowing that Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to need everything from his other role players, and you put up a donut, how the hell are the Bucks going to win this series if Kyle Kuzma is doing that? It's impossible. The Bucks are in shambles without Damian Lillard, leaving Giannis to carry the workload. And even though Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in this series by a wide margin, he can't beat the Pacers. He can't beat the entire Pacers team by himself. You see Giannis Antetokounmpo putting his body on the line and playing physical against Siakam, Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith, but at some point, that wears your body down, especially with all the minutes that Giannis has to play. Hopefully, Dame comes back in games 2 or 3. There's optimism that he can come back in either of those games, because if he doesn't, this series will be over quickly. I promise you that. Brook Lopez, Taurean Prince, 2 of Milwaukee's starters, didn't play much in the second half. And in the playoffs, you start to see what players are trusted to be on the court. And we found out that Doc Rivers couldn't trust 2 of his starters. Kevin Porter Jr., AJ Green, Gary Trent are players who don't have a buttload of playoff experience, but they played way better than the veterans who have won a championship in Milwaukee. The Nuggets take a 1-0 series lead, winning in overtime against the Clippers, 112-110. I want to start by giving Russell Westbrook some flowers. Didn't shoot the ball well, had some questionable moments driving at the rim, but he made game-winning play after game-winning play, from hitting that corner three to put Denver up by 2 towards the end of the fourth quarter, grabbing 4 offensive rebounds during key moments of the game, playing with an energy that inspired his teammates and the Nuggets fans. He was absolutely electric, played significant minutes, basically took Michael Porter Jr.'s minutes, which made sense because Russ is nowhere near the same shooter that Michael Porter Jr. is, but David Adelman made the decision to play Russ more minutes because Russell Westbrook plays with more energy. He attacks the offensive glass better. He hustles his tail off and plays every game like it's a game 7, and you need that level of intensity going up against a great Clippers team. Denver in overtime impressed me because they won overtime with Nikola Jokic not even attempting a single field goal. Aaron Gordon scored 6 points in overtime. Russell Westbrook had 2 offensive rebounds in overtime. Jamal Murray scored a bucket. Christian Brown made his only three-pointer of the game, and it was the dagger. Christian Brown also made another game-winning play. James Harden tried to throw a pass inside to Visa Zubac, but then Nikola Jokic kind of intercepted it or deflected it, and the ball was about to go out of bounds, but then you see Christian Brown dive on the floor, save the ball, and Denver gets the possession with 2 minutes left in overtime. That's a game-winning play. That's effort. That's hustle. That's determination to win a basketball game in Game 1 of the playoffs. The Nuggets fought extremely hard in this game to erase a 15-point deficit to protect home court. Nikola Jokic, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists. Aaron Gordon, 25 points, 8 rebounds. It was not going to be an easy comeback because at first it felt like the Clippers were in control. They got whatever shot they wanted. Zubac came out with a scoring punch early. James Harden was hitting deep threes at the buzzer. Kawhi Leonard was playing in rhythm, looking like the best version of himself. But Denver ending that first half on a 13-2 run and forcing 5 turnovers in the final 5 minutes of the second quarter gave the Nuggets an opportunity to win the game later on in the second half. David Adelman, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, wanted his team to play physical with discipline, and we saw the commitment from the Denver Nuggets, forcing 20 Clippers turnovers, which led to 29 Denver Nugget points. They held Kawhi Leonard to 5 shot attempts in the second half, also turned Kawhi Leonard over 7 times, which we don't normally see happen to Kawhi. I'm sure we will see adjustments from Tyronn Lue in Game 2, getting Kawhi to his spots earlier, Norman Powell more involved offensively. They also need to figure out something defensively to help Bogdanovich because the Nuggets are going to go at him and hunt him in pick and roll situation because he's not the best defender. He is not even an average defender because he keeps getting in foul trouble. He doesn't know how to move his feet or stay in front of his man. So the Nuggets are going to take advantage of that. With the Clippers and James Harden getting in foul trouble, you saw the lack of ball handling for Los Angeles if James Harden is not on the court. Like, yes, Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard can be a ball handler to score when they're looking to score for themselves, but to initiate the offense and get the table set and have Zubac rolling to the rim and finding shooters in the corner like Chris Dunn, I'm not sure if the Clippers have a decent option outside of James Harden, because when he got in foul trouble, the amount of turnovers and wasted possession from the Clippers that we saw when James Harden was in foul trouble really bothered me to some degree, because I'm like, all right, when James Harden gets in foul trouble or he has to go on the bench, how else can the Clippers really get that offense flowing? Like, I don't want to see isolation with Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard. I want to see good plays ran where Zubac is rolling to the rim. You're finding your corner shooters. You're finding players that's cutting to the rim. You're getting easy looks for Ben Simmons around the rim. Hopefully he shoots them. I don't know. But outside of James Harden, and that's a question for the Los Angeles Clippers, like, who else can they trust to initiate the offense where it's not a Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell looking for their own shot or looking for an opportunity to score, more of a ball handler who's looking to set up the table and find other Clipper players to do damage against the Denver Nuggets. So hopefully we see that kind of adjustment from Tyronn Lue. Thank you for listening to Triple Z. Appreciate you all for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Zzz.